What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream if you are new. My name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop onto the charts on this beautiful Thursday, January 8th, this week is flying by, man. Going fast, too fast. Make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top on Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. What's going on, chat? Welcome back to the show, man. Just adjusting my mic here, trying not to kill anybody with the volume, but also have it nice and clear and crispy. What's up, guys? How we doing? Thursday, January 8th. How we feeling today, man? How we feeling? NQ Trend Sniper, what's up? Pam, what's up? Dwayne, what's up? Paul Memphis, what's up? Fast Money, Glenn B, Naveen, Blue Water Cruiser, Jarmo. What's happening, guys? No guest for me today. It's been really fun over the last couple days to have some guests on. Yesterday we had, in case you missed it, the Strong Trader, Tanner. We had Luna Trades on Tuesday, which was awesome. Fun stuff. I got a bunch more traders lined up for next week, the week after, the following week. Going to be getting some new people, some new faces that you have not seen yet on stream, which will be exciting. Part of what I want to do for 2026 with these live streams, man, is just bring more and more people on, quiz them, let them trade live, let them do their thing. You know, everybody that I bring on is going to be a real transparent trader who's going to come on, talk about what they do and how they do it, and provide some more perspective, man. So it's been fun to do that for sure. So let's take a look at these markets. Let's talk a little bit about this week, man. As again, we're coming into Thursday, which is really crazy. I can't believe we're already that far in. I didn't get my link in the chat. Didn't get the links in the chat. Morning, Kobe. What's up? See what these charts have to offer. Yes. Let's see what these charts have to offer. Let me. Why did I not get the link in the chat? What happened here? Why don't we have the partner links in the chat? Sorry, guys. There's the top one link in. Let's see what these charts have to offer. So, just to review the last couple trades in this live account, and if you are interested, which I'm sure you are, I have a video dropping reviewing my last 3 months of trading in detail as far as data goes, all of the stats behind the trading that I've done in this Top 1 Futures live account, which has all been shown live. You could just go back and watch all the videos, but obviously sometimes, you know, people want to dig into kind of what the process looks like of going back through, seeing what's working, seeing what's not working, some of the data that I use, you know, outside of just the discretionary trading that I do, and really trying to continue to get better, focusing on keeping things very, very simple, structuring risk and mindset. There's a little bit of data review that I do. So I have a video coming out on that, full video coming out on that. But just to recap real quick, because again, I'm trading the 15-minute time frame here on YM. I don't have a super high frequency of trades. I don't even have to have anything in front of me. I can just talk about it. I know exactly where I entered and exited, and what happened, the outcome. This was an L down here, was pushing long on this one. I knew I wanted long after this Santa rally. I hopped in aggressively long, unfortunately, just a little too aggressively, got stopped right on these wicks to the downside. This would have been a nice positive R trade, like 1.5, 1.6 R. Monday of this week, big push to the upside, bullish move, right? Market is seemingly liking that Venezuela situation, right? The development that we've had, that conflict, at least it seems to be, really be affecting YM, the Dow Jones, positively up until today. Didn't do anything crazy here. If you guys have been watching, or if you're new, you know I have a mean reversion style trade off of the open. I'm typically structuring risk from the extreme back down to, you know, the middle ground near NYSE open within the first 30 minutes, hour and a half. You know, past that, it's more of a continuation, but didn't take that here. Did not want to step in front of it. That paid me because I just went no trade and I would have been cooked. Did not help me here. I went stop for break even right in here with Luna Trades on Tuesday. And then I took a stop getting short above here. Obviously, you could just see how it was just a constant slow grind all day. We took off the open. And, you know, on days like this where we just move in one direction, I'm going to take L's. Days like this where guys buy or sell immediately into the first 1 or 2 minutes, they're going to win. And on days where we chop around, where maybe we do something like this, we do something like this, right? They're going to lose, and I'm going to win. It's kind of how it goes, right, for the most part. In here, didn't get a trade yesterday with Tanner. Was really just chatting it up. Did not want to fade all-time highs as we are just continually pushing to the upside. Obviously, this was looking really gnarly coming into the morning. Didn't want to fade that. Obviously, being more aggressive, fading a pop to the upside right off the open, right above Asia session highs, would have paid for a nice move to the downside. Upon review on that one, I do note a trend, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. If I am taking an L multiple times in one direction, especially if I'm reviewing a little bit of data, I can almost get a little bit too cautious, right? Sometimes I got to take that L after L after L to catch, the nice winner, rather than take an L, back off, But anyway, super aggressive. I did want to be cautious to the short side. This is a questionable one. It's right in the middle for my review. Some stuff is super standout, but this was a sell-off, obviously, right? We did pop here a little bit midday, into the open after we sold off. Popped to the upside, sold off, and then really just closed down at the lows. Today, bringing us into 10 seconds before NYSE Open. Looks like we are opening up very weak. We are about to open up, we're about to open up down below yesterday's candle low, right? This is what I look for. What happened through Asia and London? What happened in pre-market? Where are we relative to VWAP? Where are we relative to yesterday's daily candle and yesterday's volume profile? Where are we relative to the much higher time frame when we zoom out on the 15-minute chart, or maybe hop over to the hourly or the daily, right? So far, we are looking weak. We are opening up right now below yesterday's low, right? We are not balanced here. We're not opening up in the middle of this range. This is a very weak open. We've drifted lower almost off of the open at session changeover through Asia, through London. We have not touched VWAP since before today, before January 8th, okay? Looks like we want to come back up towards VWAP, maybe retest this low, maybe retest this volume, temporary volume point of control right in here. My bias for today, I try to be somewhat neutral as I'm coming in. If I had to frame a trade, bias for today, higher time frames have just continued to be extremely strong. My win rate has been much stronger on longs over the last few months, as it probably is for almost everybody. We're in a bullish market. We've been pushing all-time highs. Yesterday, we were putting all-time highs in. Yes, we sold off. Yes, we were opening up down below the low. For this open, right, it's a pretty weak open here. Retest of VWAP. I have a potential short play. I don't know that I want to exercise it, man. This is what happens where we don't have alignment, right? Don't have a lot of alignment. I love to take the mean reversion play. Let's say a mean reversion play in the direction of the higher time frame trend, in the direction of the medium time frame trend, and fading just that initial aggressive maybe move to the upside or downside on YM. Today, I don't have that, right? Today, we are pushing all-time highs into yesterday. Yes, we've sold off, so we're weak right now. Moderate to higher time frames, very bullish overall, bullish sentiment really across the board. Now I'm going to look to fade that because we're opening up down below yesterday's low, popping to the upside. It's still valid. It's still something that I find I can exploit over time and create a positive expected value with. But it's not as clean as if we were doing the opposite, right? If we're pushing to the upside, higher time frame, moderate time frame, looking really, really strong, putting all-time highs in. We sell off a little bit yesterday. Maybe we're opening up a little bit weak, a little bit balanced within yesterday's daily candle. We sell off to the downside. I love that for an aggressive long. I love that for getting long, right? Yes, I'm fading this initial movement down in the first, 15, 30 minutes, but I'm with the higher time frame, moderate trend. I'm with yesterday's trend, right? The weekly candle. When I step in between that, just because we sold off one day after multiple big bullish consecutive days, it's not as much aligned, right? And the way that I trade YM, just to finish this long-winded thought, is from that higher time frame, slightly higher time frame view, almost higher time frame than what you will watch anybody else do, right? I'm on the 15-minute chart here. I hold my trades almost all damn day. I have a very long average hold time. So that higher time frame trend, that prevailing movement for the U.S. indice is going to bleed through, almost always going to bleed through, right? So I try not to fade that, or I'm trying to get better at not fading that if I don't have to. Now, all of that said, I don't have a long from down here. I also don't have a long. There's nothing down below by way of structure, right? So let's get to the point. If I had to take a short, it's going to be up into this area right here. Do I love this? No. Why? This is why. This is why I don't love shorts right now. My data shows it. The chart shows it. When you zoom out, you're going to see this, right? Right there. Where's my path? What direction are we going here, right? That's why I don't love this, right? What direction are we going here, right? As we zoom in on the daily. Up, right? What direction are we going here? Outside of yesterday, still up. Yesterday, a little bit of weakness. Today, opening, weakness. Does that mean I want to fade it? So to try to catch every single move to the downside? With caution. With caution. I'd love a long. I don't have one. There is not good structure for me to trade this long on YM. Not with a huge imbalance here where we just have a big push with very low volume. We retested this in pre-market, right? Maybe we open up here, we sell off, like I said, into the open. That allows me to take a trade that fits, my approach. But so far, gonna stay patient on this. If I take anything quickly, which I'm gonna try to avoid the first 15 minutes, gonna be in here into the 49,300s. We're looking at for a potential short. Sure, there's potential for this to move down, right? There's potential for us to come all the way back down to this area, really completely flip what we had going on here. I don't like it as much as I do the longs, and I just don't have a long setup. So anyway, that's the full scope. If we put more structure in, we come down and sweep below, come back through the high. Maybe we get a more of a continuation long. But that was a rough overview of the way that I like to trade YM. What I've had going on for the week, what I see coming into this open. If you guys have questions, please feel free to ask. If you're new, welcome. I trade a very, very simple, stupidly simple, discretionary approach. Discretionary, using price action, market structure, volume, right? Obviously, volume profiles and VWAP, as well as some order flow over here on the side with Bookmap. That's the long-winded approach. There we go. Chat, does my mic volume sound low? I adjusted a little bit. I noticed when I was playing a lot of stuff back. I'll turn it back up a little bit. I noticed when I was playing a lot of stuff back that I was like blasting through eardrums, so I lowered it a little bit. If it's too low, I'll move it a little bit closer to my face. What's up, chat? On the 15-minute, is that really big gap we're touching? Do you look at that to encourage short? So here's what I think I'll find, Pam. It's a good question, right? People have different names for this, 1,000 different names for this. The more standard technical term is an imbalance, which is really a term that comes from a footprint style chart, right? There's a specific technical term. People call them fair value gaps, whatever you want to call them. What I find, and what I think most traders will find if you go back through and back test, right? If you create areas like this on the chart where price moves very quickly between different price levels and does not put a lot of trading volume in, if and when we get back towards that level, if we don't move through it quickly, the top end or the bottom end is often used as a support or resistance zone. If we are going to target an area, for a short, the potential to move back through that quickly, the whole thing is there, right? And where would we maybe move to? The next area of high volume, right? The next area of price action and market structure where price is consolidated. That's where support and resistance, supply and demand, order block, all of these areas come from. It's seen across price action, market structure, volume, and a whole bunch of other tools. But that's the basic thesis that most traders are drilling into and then doing something really specific with, right? So for me, what I look at this as, sure, we can come way back over here. We could look through this price action and market structure as we're looking left. There is some areas in here, really higher time frame market structure and price action, prior highs that we've tested within this. My thesis is this is looking pretty strong after we tested this. I don't know that I want this short, man. Just tough structure for me to trade, honestly. A little bit frustrating that I'm having a slow week here, but a little bit of structure, obviously, and volume that we've tapped into here. But if we start to come through this low, my thesis would be that we get down here quickly. It's not as common. Certainly can happen. Market could stop here, do whatever it wants to do. If we are going to continue, right, where are we likely to continue to relatively quickly with ease, right? Right in here. There's not much that's going to hold up sellers if we start to come through this quickly, right? To fill this imbalance, to go trade to another level of high volume. Do we need to do that at all? Maybe not. And if we're going to hold higher time frame structure to the upside, and we're just going to, sweep this low and get right back to highs, this looks like it could be the move right here. So, as I'm watching this, I don't think this is a bad long. It's just not my setup, man. This is really not my setup. This is not a terrible long. If we really started to hold structure to the upside here, we put initial balance in, maybe we start to crack to the upside, I could see a continuation long, right? Maybe we pull one of these. I don't get short. We sweep this again. We come up. This is looking bullish. I look for a continuation style long, continuing the move to the upside. We swept this low a couple times. Sellers have failed to take it lower multiple times. I'm dead wrong if we come back through. I'm on the right side of the market if we're pushing the upside. Don't like this as much as an entry down here, right? An entry from the extreme. If we crack to the upside, I could see a short. That was not bad. It was not bad. If we reject all the way down, that's my movement. If we came up here, I could see a short play. Right, what did I say? The 49,300s up into that level for a potential short. Again, I'm dead wrong on that play. If we don't do this and sell off, maybe through this imbalance or all the way back down through this low, I'm dead wrong if we just come through, right? This is the low of the day, and I'm dead wrong. We're going to push to the upside. So that's kind of how I view just general price action market structure. I don't mark these out, because I mark out high volume nodes and volume points of control, and don't mark out much these days, but areas of interest, right? Key areas of interest based on price action market structure, but not like imbalances or fair value gaps, whatever you want to call a big area where price moves through different levels very quickly without putting a whole bunch of volume in. So hope that helps. Morning Trader Crew, welcome to Full Pour Thursday. No, Freeze X, what's up? Crypto-rific, what's up? Tanner was loud yesterday on my side. Yeah, different platform, right? StreamYard versus what I'm using on here, so a little bit different platform. What's up, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to the show. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Yeah, that was really helpful. Yeah, I think, we're talking price action market structure, guys, for anybody that hopped on late. Obviously, if you take a look at my chart, I find first and foremost this to be the most important thing. Price action and market structure. I use those terms interchangeably. I say them both at the same time because oftentimes they are referred to as a little bit differently. Price action is often when we're referring to individual candlesticks and the type of candlesticks that are printing, right? Engulfing candlesticks, whatever, a million different candlestick names, but the way that the candlesticks are forming within wicks, opens, closes. Market structure is more often referred to as, higher time frame, multiple candlesticks, a chunk of price action, what we're doing within that price action, right? So that's first and foremost to me. Within market structure and price action are all of the things that happen, like imbalances, fair value gaps, whatever crazy term you want to use, supply and demand, order blocks, support and resistance, breaks of highs and lows, trends, consolidation, expansion, contraction, all of that fits within, that big umbrella term that I use. So I look at it from a more simple way. I don't like to trade any type of super specific price action, candlestick pattern or super specific chart pattern, right? Because there are candlestick patterns and then there are chart patterns. A doji candle, a hammer candle, bullish and engulfing, shooting star, those would all be candlestick patterns. A ascending wedge, a channel, a you know, a triangle, like whatever crazy chart pattern you wanted to, head and shoulders, right? Teacup, like there's a million different chart patterns that combine price action. I also don't trade those specifically, any specific one. I view what's happening on the chart myself because I don't find it helps me. I view what's happening on the chart myself, and I'm using general pattern recognition. That is really the same thing, but just without being so damn specific, because I don't find that helps me to make, you know, good trading decisions, to structure risk, to try to get on the right side of the market, right? But again, like, I find keeping my stuff as simple. Here's my tenets that continually hold true. And a lot of this has come from past mentors, past guys that I've worked with, groups that I've been a part of, right? You know, like it's going to parrot somewhat of Nick Sean's stuff. A guy's group that I was in for a long period of time, who's hysterical, but his whole thing was, I think it was like simplicity, keeping it simple, keeping things simple, and controlling risk. That was like the whole thing. And for me, those two hold true. And I build a little bit off of that. So keeping overall your approach extremely simple while keeping it repeatable, focusing on being a good risk manager and accepting that risk, which is essentially the same thing as controlling risk, but accepting and controlling risk. And then the third piece that I add in there, focus on the way that you're thinking about trading, aka mindset and psychology. Those three core pieces, if I stray from any one of them too much, I start to overcomplicate things. I start to come away from thinking about risk management, from thinking about risk at the front end of every trade that I put on, or I stop focusing on mindset. I start focusing more on technicals, more on an indicator, more on some fundamental piece, and I'm not focusing on the way that I'm thinking about trading, how I'm feeling, being able to, you know, understand and create positive responses to my emotions. Any one of those, everything goes out the window. It starts to go south very quickly. The more I simplify my trading, the simpler I keep my stuff, the more I focus on risk, the more I focus on being a really good risk manager, and the more that I focus on me personally. I look within, mindset, psychology, you know, being able to think in probabilities, think properly within the market, the game that we're playing here, the better I do. So that's the full scope, and I tried to keep everything within that. So I trailed there, but do candlestick patterns work? Does a bullish engulfing candle with a long wick to the downside work? For sure, definitely. If I get too specific and I start focusing way too much on a candlestick pattern, on a specific type of wick that forms at a support and resistance zone that I mark off of an exact time frame, or this, it starts to go south. It does not help me create a better edge. It does not help me create longer term results. It takes away from what I find moves me in the right direction. So I hope ranting on some of this stuff can help, guys, because that's the cycle that I was stuck in for so long. And that's the stuff that has pulled me out. Almost everything I do around my trading, right, is focused on keeping things very simple and repeatable, utilizing my discretion, right? Utilizing my discretion, focusing on risk. What is the plan? What is the entire game plan for this account, for live accounts, for every type of account? How much are you risking per trade? Are you going to be flexible? Where are you going to be flexible? You know, what is the upside potential? Thinking of everything from that risk to reward standpoint. And then how the hell am I thinking about this? What is my mindset? What is my psychology? Am I aligned with the market? Am I executing effectively? Am I thinking about all of this in the correct way? Do I understand and have confidence in my system? Do I understand and have confidence in my win rate and the probability of seeing X number of consecutive losses? You know, so many pieces of that trading psychology factor in. But those are the tenets. It can really be broken down into those like three kind of groups. Again, I find also, I'll end with this, that's what the best traders do. It's what's parroted, it's what's repeated, it's easier said than done, but that's where the best traders that I find, the actual best traders, are focusing all of their energy, all of it, are into those three groups. Pushing to the upside here, getting ready to test these 300s. So I hope that helps. This was a long-winded one today, guys, but I think it's important to dig deep sometimes and talk about this, not just, you know, joke around the whole time. But But that's the sauce for me, man. That's the sauce. Within that, right? And then you say, okay, you're doing all those things. How do you get better? You're doing all those things. You're starting to gain some progress. How do you get better? Review. Track what you're doing. Review. Do a little bit more of what's working. Do a little bit less of what's not. That's as simple as I could make it. That's literally the entire process that we're doing here and that I use for almost every endeavor or big goal that I've set out and hit. Track what I'm doing, right, in some simple way so I actually continue to do it. Review what's working, what's not working, what are the weaknesses, what are the strengths, how can I play to those strengths, how can I try to control these weaknesses, adjust. In the markets, you got to do that in a large sample size. Continually do that. Continually do that. You'll continue to progress. So that's the sauce, guys. That's the whole damn thing. Now, questions, concerns, feel free to ask in the chat. I'm just watching this. I don't know that I want this today, man. I really don't know. I'm watching this. You know, I got a valid short set up. I told you why I really don't like it today. Just watching this on Bookmap over here on the left-hand side, swapping between ES and NQ, taking a look at cumulative volume delta, grinding higher on this one. Not a ton of volume up here. I'm tempted to try it, but I think we could easily flip this bullish here. It's, you know, here's the tough part, guys. I'm creating a narrative, right? You know, what is my thesis? If you get short in here, your thesis is that we flip this bearish and we come lower, or at least we retrace to flip this bearish and we get closer back down to that candle low. Longs is that we put this nice Wiccan down here, sweeping below these last 2 days, and we just, you know, come back up. We go trade towards Monday's volume point of control. This just has not been great price action and market structure for me to trade off of. You know, the market's going to move. Things I could do would be wins or losses, but this has really just been not great price action and market structure for me to trade off of personally. So it's super frustrating to sit here, man, and I show up every single day. Watch the markets. You never know what's going to happen. Literally anything could happen. And if you just say, well, it doesn't look good in the morning, you have no idea what the rest of the day is going to look like. But continual if-then statements. This isn't terrible if we get another push to the upside to potentially try it. But I already didn't take it, right, off the 300s. We'll see if this rejects all the way back down through. Looks like it might. It's just so counter, man. It's so damn counter to this higher time frame trend that I'm cautious of stepping in front of it. I stepped in front of it twice in here, and it did not play very nicely for me. Didn't want to step in front of it yesterday. You know, would have potentially played nice. But even this, man, right? I'm short in here. I'm short off the 300s. Does that invalidate the trade, right? Like if we're already pushing the upside, could we just do this? Sure, right? I don't think that's a terrible movement to happen. So I think I would have to wait for a little bit deeper of a push in here near this open. But it's just not great structure for me, guys. I think there's plenty of opportunity. Do not let my patience slow you down. If you have entries, take them. Do your thing, right? No financial advice, no suggestions or recommendations. But for me personally, on this first full week into the open, we blasted off on Monday. That gave me nothing. I don't just chase price to the upside or downside. Tuesday, I had some structure to trade off of. I executed. Yesterday, we're at all-time highs. We do just a little peak above and then sell off all day. Maybe in here for like a retest of VWAP continuation or something. And then this, you know, open below, push back up. You know, yeah, there's an opportunity to try this bad boy back to VWAP. We'll see. If we trade right through, this would have been the trade, right? If we come right back through the 49,100s, that would be it. I might try it. I might try it. Yeah, I might try it. If it gives me a second shot here, I might give it a shot. I just don't see myself having another entry really here. We didn't blast right through. We got a little bit of sellers that have stepped in here. Gonna have to short this thing, huh? Yeah, I know I'm getting quiet here, guys. I don't like to go silent on the stream. I'm eyeballing the short. I'm weighing this one, man. The other part of this is having done the review that I'm waiting to get back from my editor. My hit rate on longs is insanely high. My hit rate on shorts is good, but it's significantly lower. I have a significantly lower hit rate on shorts, which is obvious because we are in a bullish market. So, you know, I don't want to forgo good opportunities because there are wins within those shorts for sure. But it's definitely something that's in the back of my mind here as I'm considering another one.
Order filled.
How long was I muted for on that one, guys? How long was I muted for? Oh, I talked for a while. I talked for a while, too. Let's see. When did... Can you boost your mic up? Forgot to wish you Happy New Year. What's up? You're muted. Yep. Wow. Again, guys, sorry. You can tell how often I don't look at the chat. My bad. I just don't read the chat when I'm focused up. I know my eyes are all over, but I'm looking at charts. I'm looking at my screens to actually focus on trading. I don't know that I have it in me to explain that. I talked for like 15 minutes. I'll go do a recap on this in a second, but I'm going to have to recover from that immediate mute and then explain the entire trade. Jeez, man. Thanks for letting me know in chat, guys. Holy hell. Wow. Forever, last 5 minutes. Yeah. All right. Let's go through this again, guys. I don't know how far back when I actually muted myself. I'm short off the 300 level that I wanted to view, potentially take that mean reversion style trade off of the open. What I was explaining the good about this one, we pushed to the upside. We hit this area of high volume. We sold off yesterday. We sold off into pre-market and Asia. We potentially retest, come back down. I would need this to really be a down day or at least go back down to challenge the low for this to work out. Waited a considerable amount of time off of the open. We got sellers putting up a little bit of a fight here. There's not an extreme amount of volume blasting through. Those are the reasons for this trade, right? Valid for me. Why I don't like this one and why I would say this is definitely something that I'm willing to pay $1,000 to put $1,000 worth of risk, about that amount, on the line to find out whether or not it's going to work. But this is definitely counter to the higher time frame trend, right? It's counter to this push to the upside over multi-days. It's counter to the very high time frame that we've seen, push to the upside, right? I said I'm challenging myself after yesterday, not finding a way in short, on the day before taking an L. I will also say, just in general, to me personally, for the way that I trade and what my data is showing me, which is no surprise based on the overall trend, I have a significantly higher hit rate on longs. I have had that for the last 3 months in this account as well. I take wins on the shorts, but the hit rate is significantly lower. Majority of my losses are coming from shorts. Big surprise, right? If you zoom out and you say, well, what did we do for the last 3 months? Okay, if you trade, both directions from October to December, where what my review was from, actually starting October 7th, right in here to here. If you had to close your eyes and place a trade, right, in hindsight, if you have to close your eyes and place a trade, which trade do you think you're more likely to win? Long, right? Push to the upside. Sure, you're going to get cooked in here. Sure, you're going to get maybe cooked right in here. That's going to work nicely for you. That's going to work really nicely. This is going to work really nicely. A couple L's in there. So is that enough for me to say never take a short, right? Just never take a short. No. Is it enough for me to wait patiently the way that I did off of the open and for me to describe the risk and that stat that I'm trading against? Yes. Yes, it is. The other piece of this, and the long-winded piece, and I'll wrap it up. I have to explain this whole thing twice. I won't have another opportunity after this trade, right? I've taken 1 unit of loss on this account all week. It was on Tuesday. I have risk units to put on this week. Just because you have capital to trade doesn't mean that that's the only reason you should be trading. But I also do recognize a little bit of discretion whether or not I'm going to have another opportunity in the trading day on a Thursday at all coming into the end of the week. And for me, I'm not, right? If I don't get short in here, I'm not going to get short on the way down back through VWAP. I'm not going to get long right here, right? That's just not my entry. I'm dead wrong if I'm long. I'm dead wrong if I'm short here and we push to the upside. I'm not going to get long or a short up here, right? That's not an entry for me. That's a stop loss. So Just putting a trade on just to put a trade on is definitely not the reason to trade. It's not what I'm describing. But the diminishing opportunities that you have in the market as you have a setup in front of you, for me, could get me into a trade a little bit faster, right? On another day, maybe I'm watching this one and I go, this is pretty good, this is valid, but you know what? The way this is developing, what I'm seeing here on Bookmap, market structure, price action, volume, I think I'm going to have another trade if I just wait a little bit longer. I might wait a little bit longer, right? For me, I'm going to accept the L if I have to take the L, accept the win if I get the win, and recognize that I don't have another setup coming. I really don't have another setup coming. So, hope this helps. Hope this helps. All right, now that we got past that, jeez, man, holy hell. Let me scroll back through the chat now that we got a trade on. Let's see. We're talking about, what are we talking about here? Talking about RDF, codes in the chat, talking about top one. I spell something fishy. No. You guys are funny. Wolfback making jokes in the chat. What's up, guys? Now I have to check to make sure my mic is on 50,000 times. Been muted since Thursday. Yep. All right, since we were talking about top one so damn much in the chat, we got a trade on. You guys can see where my stop is, where my potential target is down through VWAP. Here's what we got rolling from top one futures, and I really haven't. Well, it's Edgeful. We're gonna talk about Edgeful next. Here's what we got rolling from top one futures, which I really haven't talked enough about. You're able to copy trade up to 10 accounts. The discount right now with code RDF is 40%. The big offering from them is they are the only, first off, they're the cheapest instant funded industry-wide. Along with that, they're the only instant funded account that you can now copy trade up to 10. 10 of the straight to sim funded pro, or 10 of the Ignite instant funded, the one that I'm going to give out here on stream in a little bit. I'll go ahead and bring up the site. These are the 3 different choices for instant funded accounts. You can copy trade up to 10 of these bad boys. That's not for beginners. That's not for guys and girls that are not consistent yet. But the opportunity to potentially work towards a $35,000 payout, because $3,500 in the 150K times 10 is $35,000, is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. If you say, hey, Zach, I'm a beginner, I want to know what the cheapest account is for instant funded, right here on the Ignite instant funded accounts, going to be right in here. If you say, hey, Zach, what's your favorite account? What do you think is the best rules? Maybe the higher priced account, but the account that you would be working towards, trading towards a payout if you got kicked out of this live account. If you wanted to focus on working yourself towards a live account, it's this bad boy right here, the instant sim funded. These are my favorite accounts, either the 50K or the 150K. 20% consistency rule, standard. No intraday trailing drawdown, standard end of day trailing drawdown, wide max loss limits, very reasonable profit targets, and one of the most aggressive payouts from any one of these accounts industry-wide, right? Go ahead and compare this stuff for yourself. There's a reason that I'm partnered and affiliated and I yap about them. They have one of the best offerings industry-wide. I do the comparisons myself. I have an opportunity to work with almost every prop firm under the sun, which I'm very grateful for. Why would I not go with who I want to trade with and what I feel would be the best to present to my community, and who I feel would make me the most money because it's the best opportunity, right? From a partnership and affiliation standpoint. Put the 50K account up against the competition. I really encourage you to do so. But yeah, code RDF gets it done. I'll throw the link in the chat as we watch this trade move against me. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Just going to grind higher on me here. Man, why is it doing a double link? There we go. Top one futures link in the chat if you want to check this bad boy. Damn. Not stopping. Not stopping. We did not catch the sellers that I wanted to off the 300s. Not a ton of volume on this one, really dropping off until right now as we started to pick up just a little bit. That's going to be my week, man. That's what it's looking like. We'll see if we catch sellers here, peaking above the 300s, getting high in this range, getting high in this this area of high volume. But looks like ES started to turn over, push to the upside. I'm caught short in the market again, and looks like I'm going to be taking it out. Plenty of room, halfway to a stop, but just looks like it might be my week, man. Just looks like it might be my week. But one thing that's coming up, and you already saw the banner, one thing that's coming up, initial balance. Something I look at is going to print in under 20 minutes right here is going to be initial balance. The stats that I use to understand what the hell initial balance is, how the market tends to move around initial balance is Edgeful. I'm partnered and affiliated with Top One. I'm partnered and affiliated with Edgeful. Important for me to note that. Edgeful is a statistic and data provider. And the link in the chat, which you don't get just by going to their site or anywhere else, which I was super psyched to learn, gets you a 7-day free trial. You can actually get all of this stuff for free for a week, which is pretty sweet. There's a subscription because it does change, right? It continues to change as more information comes out. But here's what I'm going to be looking at coming up in 20 minutes. I talk about IB a lot. I'm trying to give you guys the real sauce behind it. Again, this can feel complicated, right? It can feel like, I think traders will say, well, you're using Bookmap, you're using Edgeful, you use this stuff. How is that simple, right? The way that I apply all this stuff is incredibly simple. So simple, like it's just extremely simple. A blind dog could do it. I trade it so extremely simple. The order flow can look intimidating. These reports can look intimidating. It's incredibly simple. The data behind it, sure, it gets a little bit mathy, a little bit technical. Stupidly simple, man. And I think having this data, having an understanding, just building some confidence around the way the market moves based on the objective stats can help you apply your discretion with confidence and keep it super simple without saying simple too many times. So this is the initial balance breakout report from Edgeful. I'm looking at YM, which is what I'm trading here. The initial balance is, if you scroll down, they tell you what it is. The first 1 hour opening range from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern, right? You might mark that level on the chart, and you might say, what happens? Is there a statistic around what happens more often than not after that first 1 hour? Is there something that repeats itself with over a 70% of the time happening, one thing over another, right? Over the past year or more of data? The answer is yes. And for me, I think that's valuable. Do you need Bookmap? Do you need Edgeful? Do you need any other tools specifically to be profitable, to make money? Is it going to be? No, right? Does it have to be helpful for you? No. Decide this stuff for yourself. I'm going to show you guys what I use. Edgeful, 60-minute opening range on YM, the initial balance breakout report. Here's what this says. Here's the big statistic that people pay attention to because there's a bunch more. I'm going to give you the 3 that I pay attention to. Here's the big one. If we break one side after putting the high and low in that first hour of NYSE open, if we break one side, do we come down to break the other side? What percent of the time do we not come back down to break the other side? AKA we break out and we don't come back down through the low. 71.98% of the time. There is a single break, meaning we break one side, we don't break the other side, right? Only 23.74% of the time are we breaking both sides, and only less than 5% of the time we're not breaking either side. We're staying within that first 1 hour range, right? You might say, that's great, Zach, but from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., a lot can happen. I need to know what happens after we break that. You might say, hey, that's cool, but I want to know which side we're more likely to break first. You might say, hey, I want to know if we break one side, how far do we typically push to the upside past that or retrace back in? What happens after we break that one side? How far do we typically go outside of it? How far do we typically come back in? There is a report for every one of these. Oh, we got a little disconnection there. There's a report for every one of these. The 3 that I really like, is number 1, the initial balance breakout. If we break one side, we typically don't come back down and break the other. That presents a really strong stat. If you're trading against it, if you're trading after a break of one for a short, for example, back down to the low after breaking the high, you're trading for something that has only happened 23% of the time over the last year of data, right? The other one that I really like is, let's see if we can go for it on here to show it. I believe we're going to, it's going to be called buy rejection. Yep. They got a weird name for this one, but essentially what this report is, it's called initial balance buy rejection. Based on which side forms first and which side forms second, right? Because we have a range, because we are going to put in today, for example, the initial balance high and then the initial balance low and then the initial balance high. We will have the low form first and the high form second. We are able to tell, we have a statistic behind, which side is more likely to break first. This is a little bit of an obvious one, but before the thing sets and as it's setting up, you now have a statistic that combines with the IB breakout to say, I know if one side breaks, we typically don't come back down and break the other side. I also know which side is more likely to break first based on the stats. And again, this is around a specific range. You might say, I like the 15-minute range, I like the 30-minute range. You can look at stats and data for all of this stuff, guys. Again, I do like the IB. I do like the first 1 hour. It's often just naturally around the time that I'm looking to put trades on, right? I typically am not the first 15, 30-minute into the open trader. I'm usually a little bit after that. I'm close to the IB high setting up. It's also sometimes after I have trades on, give me a little bit more confidence to hold it, a little bit more caution. Maybe we're moving into news, something that I might want to clip the trade. We have a stat that says, again, if the IB high is formed first, right, the IB low breaks out 67.7% of the time, right? The 28.1% of the time we're breaking that IB high first after 4-minute first. So you can kind of get that stat. I'll display it on the chart. If you want to check it out, link in the chat. There's a whole bunch more stuff you could do on here. Ranges, opening candle continuation, which also lines up with this initial balance. Damn, son. YM just not going to play nice with me this week at all. Not going to play nice with me at all. Longs. Opening candle continuation is a pretty solid one. What happens if we put a green or a red candle the first 60 minutes, right? What happens to that first 1 hour candle? If we print a green candle for the day, 73% of the time over the last year of data, we've closed that as a green day. If we print a red opening candle for 60 minutes, over 70% of the days are going to close red on that first hourly candle print being red. Again, pretty strong stats. There's stuff that's really, really strong. Like, I'm going to show you one that's a super heavy percent. Yeah, YM just not going to play nice with me today. Where is... Wait a minute. Yeah. This is the one super strong on YM. Still on NQ as well. So you might say, yeah, Zach, all that stuff's obvious, right? Yeah, I'm gonna show Power Hour breakout. You might say that stuff's obvious. I know about the IB high and low. I know about initial balance. I got a good feel for that. Let's look on NQ for this one. Curious to see what it is. ES was really strong back in the day. If we could load, I got super duper fast internet and a fast computer behind me. So yeah, here's what we got going on here, guys. Here's what this report is discussing. If we have a high and low put in coming into Power Hour, which we always do, what are the chances of a new high of day, as in a break of that high, or a new low of day, as in a break of the entire daily range coming into the last hour of the day? This is important if you trade Power Hour, if you trade from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, right? What is the percent of the time that NQ, in this example, puts a new high of day in or a new low of day in? Strong stat against this. And this is something that I was trading ES on and NYM and NQ on Top Step TV for Power Hour quite a bit. And it really, honestly, to my peril, wasn't until somebody pointed it out to me that I would often be trading for continuation, right? I wouldn't be fading the move of the day if we were pushed to the upside. I would often be longing for a new high of day. And if we had sold off, I would often be short with a TP below the low of day, right? Looking for an extension down into the last hour, right? Take a look at the stat. 84% of the time, we're not putting a new low of day. Over the last year of data, right? This is on historical data. 75% of the days over the last hour, we did not put a new high of day in. Now, super strong stat, and before I finish up, you guys want to check it out, links in the chat. If you have questions, feel free to ask. This is not enough to use by itself. The same way that nothing's enough to be used by itself, right? I think you should grain of salt everything and combine this. Use this stuff to create context, right? What's happening on that day can matter extremely, right? Do we have a tariff news where we have broken out, we've extended daily ranges over the last month, and we're blasting through highs? Maybe you say, hey, there's a good chance that this is one of the quarter of the days over the last year that we're going to put a new high of day in, right? Same thing with initial balance. Do we have news, right? Is it an NFP day? What happens on a high, high impact news day? Also, some of these stats are often referred to incorrectly. It's people that say you have an 84% edge or 84% win rate. No, that's not what this is. This is an 84.2% of the time over the last year of data for a specific movement in the market, right? With objective, clearly defined information. One thing has happened over another. That's still extremely valuable in my humble opinion, but it's important not to overstate it or like to talk about it incorrectly, where you'll have an 84% win rate if you just fade the move into the close. It's not necessarily the way that it works. So that's Edgeful. If you want to check it out again, link is in the chat. No code needed with them. 7-day free trial. Check them out. As I watch a move come against me, as I watch the initial balance set up, and this 1 hour opening candle set up in a way that I really don't want it to. I really don't want it to. I'm going to be on the wrong side of that initial balance today. At least the start of it. I'm going to be hoping for a failed auction where we crack one side and come back in. I'm going to be hoping for that retracement, but I'm going to acknowledge that, unfortunately, right, have we rejected here and maybe pushed lower before this initial balance set up, I'd be on the right side of it. But unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to be on the wrong side of it. So let's go ahead and set it since we talked about it. That's not what I want. There we go. Let's go ahead and set it. Let's see what you guys got going on in the chat. There we go. We're not there yet, obviously, right? We have to wait for the first 1 hour to print. 10:30 a.m., about 7.5 minutes away. But didn't catch sellers the way that I wanted to after testing this zone, after popping to the upside. It looks like this is going to be the move, man. Sweep of the low, coming down, testing this area. Not coming through this imbalance, really not needing to continue lower after hitting this level, not finding sellers. My entries overlaying this, not finding sellers in here, blasting through that, moving to this area of high volume. Maybe I survived by the skin of my teeth for a turn back down or for a choppy session that starts to set up, but it certainly doesn't look like it. Looks like that this is going to just continue what we were doing here after a little bit of a retracement yesterday. Part of the game, Chatty McChat. Part of the game. Not dead yet, though, as the kids say. All right, let's see. Let's see. We got some questions here. Back, sound is fine. Yeah, guys, so I see a lot of you are still saying that. That tells me that you're minutes behind on the live stream. Go down to the bottom. You're probably not going to see and hear me say this for the next 5 minutes, but go down to the bottom of the screen on YouTube and make sure that you're watching me live. You're probably 5 minutes behind if you're not watching that. Let me throw it in chat because maybe you'll see that. But yeah, I can see just the late reaction. So you guys are probably watching from behind. Really cool information, Edgeful, for getting support or rejection of a hypothesis before going into backtesting. Yeah, absolutely. It's the same stuff that we look for in backtesting. Edgeful is useful for orb as well. Def useful. Don't let it sway your true gut feeling or instinct. I've had issues with that in the past. I was using Edgeful a lot last year. Yeah, again, that's like I was saying, taking it into context. It's a great point, Nate. It's exactly what I was saying. Take it into context. Use it within the other things that you use in your trading, right? That's how I use it. I don't trade initial balance breakout. I don't trade the orb. I don't trade one specific mechanical rule, right? That's not the way that I trade in the first place, but it's certainly not as mechanical as I will ever get. Do I think it can be helpful to be really aware of some of these stats? And there's a ton of them, right? Like, there's too many to be aware of all of them and use them all day, and you could always find something that would conflict one thing over another. But use them for additional confidence. Use them to be cautious of something maybe that you don't want to be trading against. That's important. 6964 is the weekly VWAP on ES. We'll see what happens there. Nice. I agree, Nate. Definitely helps give you confidence in the trade for sure. Can provide tons of confidence for sure. Absolutely. Cyrus, Zach, how do you go about taking a break? How do you go about taking breaks? It's been a pretty frustrating week, honestly. Thinking of taking a break for a few days, but also if you're losing lost opportunities. Take a break, first off. If you're having a frustrating week, if you're feeling like you're not in the pocket, you are almost always better to take a break because you're not going to execute well anyway. You're going to get cooked no matter what, right? Even if there are opportunities, you're not in the right space to grab them. For me personally, I take breaks around holidays, right? And I take breaks around just vacations with my family. So if I am ever finding, and this was a lot in the past, if I ever finding that I'm burnt out, if I'm finding that I have, for whatever reason, the desire to take a break, I will just take the break. I just won't trade. If I'm sick, I'll take a break. But for the most part, for me, it just comes naturally around the holidays and vacations. Like, I have multiple vacations set up. I got family time. I'm going fishing down in the Keys with my father for mine and his birthday, which are around the same time. Super psyched about that. I'm going to a big Disney trip. Me and my wife are taking her almost entire family to Disney, which is going to be really, really cool. Around Disney, I should say, because a lot of them are too small, I think, to actually go to Disney. My mother, I'm going to an island with. Super excited. I think my mom, my mother-in-law, and my wife, that should be really fun. And then I got work trips, right? I got the in-person stuff. Top 1 trip to Colombia is going to be insane. So those are my natural breaks, right? Like, I will have time every few weeks where I have a couple days out of the markets. I try not to do that too much, but that's where I take breaks. Now, if you don't have any of that, right, you're just grinding, and this is what it would look like in the past. As soon as you feel out of the pocket, as soon as you feel frustrated, as soon as you feel like you are not executing well, get off of the charts, delete all of your alerts, do not even open them, build some discipline to not even look at the market, and do something else with your time. Go outside, touch some grass, do a different hobby, activity. You will almost always come back after a forced break like that and execute way better than you could have ever imagined, and way better than if you continued on. So the risk of missing opportunities by taking a break when you are at your lowest is well worth it, in my opinion, versus the risk of continuing on to trade to try to not miss those opportunities. So I would always say take the break and make it longer than you think you need, right? Wait until you're feeling good and hungry. For me, back when I was really struggling, or even as I started to gain some consistency, I found that after a really gnarly mistake, a really bad loss, something that really hurt, if I just stepped away for at least the next day, or even finished off the week just not trading, I'd come back so fresh. I would forget what was going on. I'd be able to execute effectively. I wouldn't be thinking about that P&L. And I'll give you one more since we're on it. If you're really hot, and this is a debatable one. If you're really hot, and if you find that in the past you've blown up when you're really hot, because this isn't for everybody, you should take a break. I think there's so much to be said for pressing it when you're hot, for continuing on, when you're reading the market right, and when you're executing well. I really like to continue on, and I'm trying personally to get better at pressing it, increasing risk, and continuing to have those outsized days, outsized weeks, months. But the opposite is true. A lot of traders, almost majority, I don't find this true for myself so much, but almost majority, after taking too many big wins, will have they'll have the same execution errors, just the opposite. Overconfidence, they will have lack of care and control of their risk, and they run a serious risk, not to use the word again, of blowing up or taking too many losses and having execution errors. So especially coming up, when you get hot, when you string together too many wins, you should really think about taking a step back unless and until you feel that you can control that, because that's often the market showing you that, it's agreeing with your system, you're executing well, and it is the best time to continue on trading. So think about that. A telltale sign, though, is if you have one or two instances where you start to do really well, you have 2 really big green weeks, and the 3rd week you blow up. If that happens once or twice, or even big days, that's an indication that you are one of those people, and be honest with yourself, that you got to take your foot off the gas when you're going too fast, because you carry on, you start to think you're God, you have it all figured out. All of a sudden, we're risking the entire account on the next trade because you haven't lost for 7 trades. Why wouldn't you risk the whole account? You got to take your foot off the gas there. But that one's dicey, because I do say, and what I try to do, if you are hot, you want to be pressing it. When you are cold, you want to be taking your foot off the gas. Just like adding into winners and not adding into losers, right? Just like, doing the opposite of what the standard gambler does, was as soon as they start losing money, they hit the ATM and they bet bigger. As soon as they start making money, they start betting smaller, right? You want to capitalize on those times where you're executing well, you're making good decisions, you're just doing well, and or combination, the market is agreeing with you, because it's that magic combination. And when you're executing poorly, right, and having a lot of errors, and or the market is not agreeing with your system at all, right, that's probably the time you want to back off, not continue to run yourself into the hole. It's the exact opposite of what most people can do. It's difficult to do it when you're in the in the moment, but that's the best way to handle it, in my humble opinion. Make sure it aligns with your gut mind analysis. Yeah, we talked about that. Talked about edge pull for sure. Definitely agree. Tampa. There we go. Yeah. Top 1 to Columbia. Yeah, man. Got big things cooking for this year, guys. I got a lot of stuff cooking, man. I'm super excited. I'm grateful to be part of so much stuff, but I'm going to be sharing on Instagram and YouTube a ton of the personal stuff, a ton of the stuff outside of trading, the in-person events, some vlog style stuff, just the daily clips of me yapping to the camera. So follow along. If you're here on YouTube, obviously you can follow along. I'm going to give you guys my IG, because my Instagram story is usually just, I'm trying to do more of it, just the day-to-day life, things outside of trading that don't relate to trading at all, things that relate to trading. My story right now is me building the new office, right? Talking about that, talking about apparel, showing some stuff that I got coming. Also goals I have outside of trading for this year, like climb the hardest boulder in my gym. Some stuff that's going on into that, so follow along. Did you say mother-in-law and wife? You're a brave man. Yes, Dwayne. Listen, I'm grateful. I will say this. I'm grateful. I won't say I'm brave. I'm grateful that I have a very, very, very great relationship with all 3 of those women in my life, and I know not everybody does. I'm blessed to say that I have an awesome mother and an awesome mother-in-law, both extremely supportive in everything I do, and I'm grateful for that. I'm very grateful for that. So it's awesome. I get to do a lot of family stuff, and that's one of my goals, right? Personal goals for this year. I talk about goal setting, that type of stuff. We were talking about it for New Year's. Spending more time with family, right? I try not to dox myself too much, but I'm in my early 30s, right? You can imagine the age of my parents. They have different health concerns at this point in their life. And, you start to think, I don't live in the same state as them anymore. I live on the other side of the country. And, you know, I start to think about not being able to see them as much as I would like to, and then, you know, what we're going to be able to do together in 10 years and whether or not I'm going to be able to go see them at all in 20 or 30 years, right? It's really a tough thought. So part of that, part of my life and my game plan, and, you know, is to spend more time with family, right? Do more things and trips with my wife, do more things and trips with her family and our family, right, as a whole. So you'll see that, right? You'll see that in my trading. You'll see that in vacations. That's why I'm talking about it on here. Not really like a discipline thing that's going to relate to trading, but if you have family, if you have a mom and dad that are still around, whether you have a good relationship or bad relationship with them, I would encourage you to call them and tell them you love them. They're not going to be around for forever. Try to find some time to spend time with them. I wish at this point in my life that I've already spent more time with my parents. I haven't, so I'm going to make up for that. And I'm grateful to be in a spot financially to be able to do some badass trips with them. So I'm going to try to treat them well as I can. Take a voluntary break, not an involuntary one. Blowing accounts. Yep. Taking it off. Size down micros. Yep. Really precious advice. Going to take the next week off then. Yeah. Listen, guys, I like, you know, it also depends on where you're at, right? If you're grinding in it heavy and, you know, you're really early on, yeah, you're going to have to push through some weeks, right? Some tough weeks. You're going to have to try to not lose time. As you progress and you're in it really long, you're going to have to take voluntary breaks. You're going to have to build that into your schedule, right? You know, Tanner was talking about it with powerlifting. This is the same for endurance sports, for any high-level sport or profession. They don't hammer it every single day, right? If you are running and you're a runner, you're training for a marathon, ultramarathon, a short distance, you don't go and run your hardest and longest every single day. I'm trying to climb, get better at climbing, bouldering in my gym, right? I can't work out every single day. I can't climb super hard every single day. You have to take forced breaks. If you don't, the market will force you by blowing up, and in sports, you will get injured. That's what happens. You will not progress. Your body will get injured. You'll tear a muscle, you'll break a bone, you'll fall because you're fatigued, whatever it is, you'll get hurt. So decide what that looks like for you in trading. For me, it's just naturally around holidays and vacations. I find major U.S. holidays to be pretty trash times to trade. I'm usually taking the time off. Maybe I'm live streaming like I was through Christmas, and I'm way sized down. We're giving out a dozen prop accounts on the stream and yapping, you know, but decide how you're going to take some breaks. You shouldn't be hammering it every single day. We get a forced break for the weekend, but if you're staring at charts all day, every day, man, you're going to burn out, and you will execute better if you have small breaks in between. You know, if you're an intraday trader on low time frames, you're going to have to miss some opportunity. If you're a swing trader or, you know, more moderate time frames, maybe there's a happy middle ground where you say, I'm off the charts, but I set some alerts just in case something really big happens. But I really don't even like doing that. I like removing yourself completely, right? Like, you know, leave your phone and be in an area like I was on a lot of my trips this year where zero cell service. Like, I don't even stand a chance to know what's going on in the markets. That's how far removed I am, right? And you just take your mind off of it. You know, you come back fresh and hungry for it and ready. So anyway, and on that note, talking about giveaways as I watch this trade painfully see if we're going to go break IB high. I think you guys know what time it almost is. We have 58 people on the live stream on YouTube. We got a 6-pack of you guys on Kick. What's up? What's up on Kick? Oh, 10-pack of you guys on Kick. We have 20 of you guys on, 16 of you guys jumping around on X. Go ahead and smash the like button on YouTube. Let's see the like count. Let's see the like count. ES failing IB break high. Oh, we might have something here, Nate. Damn. Hold on. Where's the like count on YouTube? 56 of you guys, 59 of you guys. We have 39 likes. I'm going to make it really easy for you. If everybody hits the like button right now, we will drop this giveaway. I'm going to make it really easy. 80 likes. Giveaway at 80 likes, guys. We're going to be giving out an instant funded account from Top 1 Futures, a 50K Ignite instant funded account. Go ahead, smash the like button. I'm going to get the form ready. I'm also going to check out ES. Let's see what we got going on. Ooh, I like that. I like that for my trade. ES failing that, failing to break out from IB high aggressively. Back down to VWAP. This is looking much choppier. We got a decision-making point here. Nate made it right back to VWAP, which could have presented somebody opportunities if you were shorting towards VWAP. Often the line in the sand, right? Are we going to continue making this a bearish day? Are we going to continue pushing to the downside, or are we going to find buyers here like we're doing right now? Like, are we going to find buyers and come right through the high? That's going to look horrible for shorts if we do. NQ looking significantly weaker than all of these. Broke to the downside aggressively. Broke through yesterday's low. Oh, no, excuse me. Yeah, oh, sorry, I almost missed the doji. Broke through yesterday's low and is got a wick forming, but looks like it was trying to stay below VWAP here. YM, unfortunately, the one that I'm on, is trading the most bullish out of all of them. Cracked through VWAP and a hold. No real rejection here, even giving me a way to structure this thing to grab something. But nothing for me to do in a drawdown, trading drawdown. I don't clip my winners close to stops. I don't take much action at all for a trade as it's moving against me. In profit, I'm attempting to only take profit when it makes sense, and to do that by holding my trades a whole lot longer without going stop losses to break even. That's what my data shows that I should be doing. Let me... Yeah, so guys, go ahead and smash the like button if you want this one to drop. I'm getting this form ready to roll. You're going to have to be in Discord to fill the form out. The 100% free Discord. So if you want to hop in there, links are in the chat. Let me make sure you guys got that. There we go. Getting ready to give away an instant funded account. Chatty McChat chat. Here is the link to Discord so you can hop in. I'll only say this one time. If you can't get into the Discord through WAP because your country is banned or you're banned or whatever that is, you are SHIT out of luck. I can't help everybody anymore like that. Too much time. So, let's see. Yeah, you guys are running it up slowly but surely. We have way over the amount of people on here than we have likes. So, you guys get to decide today if you want this one. Where is my form as YM? Looks like it wants to come up and break this IB high. Painful, man. Painful. This one's gonna be a string of L's if I do take this one. Gonna be the third full L without a win in between on this account. That's not gonna be feeling too good. Not gonna be feeling too good. Part of the game, though, like we talk about. Let's see. I would have shorted this on ES. Any news on dates when Tradeovate and TradingView? Yep. Talked about it multiple times. Made videos about it. If you want exact dates, hop in their Discord. Hop in Top 1 Futures Discord. It was also sent out through an email, but they have exact dates. I'm not going to look it up again. Off the top of my head, it's middle of February when it's a forced migration. You can trade on Tradeovate, NinjaTrader, and TradingView right now. They don't have an option for an early migration just yet. I was always looking for shorts, which is why I got cooked. Not to mention I've been on charts since 5 a.m. Dumb. Yeah. Yeah, I feel it, Nate. I feel it. It's a tough one, man. This is an interesting open to the year. Interesting open to the year for sure. I think we are retesting previous consolidation for a continued move to the downside. Maybe. We are going to find out if we're going to start to trade this to the downside. Pulled back so far. Looks like a break in continuation. Just a slow grind higher all day. A takeoff off the open and grind higher. No rejection. No chop. No reversion. No mean reversion. Just straight continuation to the upside. Which, like I talked about, that's the classic day that I'm going to take an L. Right? Let's see. ES long or retest. Maybe. If you're taking that type of trade. Let's mark it up so I know what you're looking at. Yeah. Yep. This looks like a really nice buy off of VWAP. I'm sure the ASFX boys are going to eat today. They trade ES off of VWAP. It's almost too easy on days like this. If you could survive this chop first, because maybe you're jumping in short because we sold off. We're down below VWAP. Now we're closing below, so they're taking a continuation short. If you could survive that, wait for this thing to come through, show a bullish day, pull back down, and then continue. Orb retest would line up with that as well. But let's see. Zach, do you know if Bookmap can show volume profile or not? Yeah, Bookmap can do pretty much everything, man. You get a ton of volume profiles on Bookmap. Man, somebody told me to not get in today with anything but evals. Glad I kept it. Took a hard hit on the first trade. Yeah, I'm finding, outside of the guys that are just full porting accounts on silver, I'm finding not the hottest open for a lot of traders. I think on YM, this could be pretty tricky to trade. Long bias, carrying a long bias all the way through the year would have been helpful, but this could be a tricky trade. So we cracked IB high. We know the stat. We are much less likely to come back down through the low. We are more likely to extend by a degree rather than just breaking it. Unfortunately, I am set against all of those now. Not much to do to hold on to it, but I have very little faith in this trade, unfortunately. Part of the game, chat. Sorry to hear that, Rambus. Yeah, man. Yeah, part of it. Not a hot open for me. Definitely not a hot open for me, man. Whoa. We'll see. I say that now, right? Trump could come out right now and sneeze, and the market could sell off by 900 points from this point, only extending this low by, 400, 500 points. I could catch a massive winner, and it could be a really hot open. So, I don't like to speak too quickly, but I talk during the trade, right? So, we have 58 likes, 80 likes, man. 80 likes. Let's see if we can hit it, guys. I'll hang with you until we hit that. 80 likes on YouTube. We will do the instant funded account giveaway from Top 1 Futures, which I will chat about again real quick while we are waiting. They are the only instant funded firm to offer copy trading up to 10 accounts. Again, I don't think this is for beginners. I don't think this is for anybody that hasn't proven some consistency. Why are you copy trading if you can't take a payout on one account? But if your goal for 2026 is to scale and copy trade a lot of accounts, copy trade across multiple firms, this is one of the most insane opportunities to do it. Again, I think they also have one of the best opportunities, because they have so many different choices, of the cheapest, lowest cost instant funded accounts and a higher cost instant funded account, which I prefer, which has the widest rule set, the easiest to hit a payout in, the instant funded account, the OG instant funded account, and the best chance to work yourself towards a live account, like you see me trading right here, the Top 1 Futures 15K pre-live account, with the biggest balance, right? That 150K instant funded account. So if you want to check it out, link in the chat, link down below. Code RDF gets you 40% off. Why is YouTube doing this, man? Figure this out. Link is in the chat everywhere if you guys want to check it out. Throwing it in Kick again because I know Kick removes all of the messages. All right, let's see, guys, if you guys can hit this one. Sensible option when you had that feeling. Thanks, Drain. Evals aren't really heartbreaking. Funded is another story. Yeah. I'd be high shorts on ES looking fire, damn it. Right, Nate? As soon as, like, there's something to be said for that, too. Like, as soon as we don't even have the option to trade, right? It's kind of like you're almost back to demo. I find that as well. Like, I've never been a better trader than when my account's locked up waiting for a payout, right? When Top Step X wasn't working, when Project X wasn't working. Like, I've never had better opportunities to trade. And I think it's true because you're just operating now from, you forget about, I could make money, I could lose money. What does this mean? What does this account mean? You are removing all of that, and you're focusing objectively, which is the way that we really should be trying to do this, on what's happening in the market, like right here and now. And you're just looking at the market and you're thinking of a thing, from a what fits my approach perfectly. Not what happened yesterday. Oh, I took a loss, I don't want to take another one. Or I want to take 2 trades because I want to make that back. Or if I make this next $500, I'll make a payout so my take profit goes. You're just looking at the chart and you're going, man, this looks beautiful. I should have done this. I can do this. So try to think on that. Try to carry that into tomorrow when you're actually ready to trade. And I'm glad that you stopped yourself out, man. If it was a personal DLO, if it wasn't a prop firm DLO. Anyway, guys, I'll be right back while I'm waiting for you to run up the likes. We have 63. Y'all are trying it. I'm going to throw it in chat again. Again, make sure you hit the live button on the bottom of YouTube. I've had more and more people be delayed and not realize that they're watching a stream that's 1, 2, 3, 5 minutes behind the actual thing that I'm doing right here, which is live. So make sure you're on the live, but I'll be right back, guys. See what we can do here. How'd chair do? Chair? Whoa. Just put my mouse on 1,000 speed. It's way too fast for me. Chair did okay. And just peeked outside real quick, which was outside of grabbing a LaCroix. Peeked outside real quick. The office that I got getting set, man, which is really just a shed in my backyard, getting built from the ground up with walls, insulation, mini split, AC, electrical, the fastest internet I can get, and a floor. Floor's going in right now. I'm hyped. Floor's getting installed right now. So soon, boys, soon we're gonna be in the D-Gen den. I was joking around trying to think about names. Someone said the D-Gen den for like a an area. All right, what did you guys do? Damn, y'all don't want a giveaway today? 63 likes, that's it? Come on, man. 63? Not enough viewers. We got enough viewers. We've had, to that point, 242 views, aka 242 people have cycled on and off. Here's the fact, fast money formula. If everybody right here, all 64 of you, or 60, it bounces around, hit the like button right now, there would be at least, how many more do we need? 15 of you that haven't hit the like button yet. Send it. Send it. I'm hanging out with you guys, and I think, you know, I don't know that I've ever not done one because of likes, but I try. Plus, this trade's going to sell off. We're going to turn this into a gnarly down day, and this is going to be a $3,000 W on one trade in this account. We're going to have a massive sell-off, guys. We're going to come through VWAP. We're going to break this IB low after failing IB high. We're going to dump this market. We're going to have faked everybody out to the upside. This is going to be the start of a huge trend to the downside. And this is going to be a 1,100-point move. I'm going to put a huge day up here. I'm manifesting it. I'm cultivating it right now. $10,000 day. Here's the take profit. Oh, God, I can't even do a $10,000 day. There's the take profit. We sell off. We put a day in that you've never seen before. Venezuela goes back to Venezuela. Trump says we can't have it. We can't have Greenland. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, let's see what we got. Let's do a giveaway. Let's see what we got. No, if you say you're gonna host people over to trade, nah, man, no, it's not that big of a setup, Nate. No, it's gonna be a cool office, man. I'm super stoked on it, but it's not gonna be a multi-trader setup or anything like that, man. I will be doing much more in-person stuff this year. I'll talk about it. I'm getting a lot of it booked up. I was getting some of it booked up yesterday. I'll be talking a lot about the in-person stuff, but right now on the board, come and catch me in Tampa. I'm 99.9% sure that I'm going to go to Traders for a Cause as well, just as a guest. Let's see. Not enough viewers today. You're going to host people over to trade. Can't join the whip. It shows this company does it now. Wait a minute. Yo. Whoop is gonna mess with me now? That's really weird. Everything looks good from the dashboard. Alright, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Definitely gonna have to figure that out. Must be something glitching, man, because I got no notification, no nothing. All right, let's run the giveaway, man. Forum's going to be live in... Forum's going to be live on YouTube in a second because y'all are right who just said that. That I don't like. All right, let's run it, guys. Let's run it. It's giveaway time. It's giveaway time. Chatty McChat. Y'all have been awesome on this stream. We're going to see if we can have a massive win after coming back, almost being stopped out. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm joking around when I say that. Giveaway forum is about to go live. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in Discord right now. And because for some reason the person who said that is correct, I actually can't get into that WAP. It's also gonna go on the YouTube live stream, but here's the deal. YouTube live stream. Form looks good. Here's the deal, YouTube live stream. I'm gonna give you this form for 2 minutes. Ready? Here it is. 2 minutes. You have 120 seconds to get this filled out. Everybody, I'm gonna run it super quick. I'm gonna try to prevent the scammers and spammers. Here's the deal. This is for a 50K instant funded account with Top 1 Futures. No purchase necessary. Fill the form out. Don't fill it out. Do whatever you want to do. That's what you need to do to get into the giveaway. Link to join the free Discord is in the chat, but for some reason it looks like it's not working. The person that actually said that looks like it's not working. Links in YouTube. Links on Kink. Link is on Kick. You slow that down. It's everywhere. Go ahead and get it filled out. You have 2 minutes right now. 2 minutes to get this filled out before I clip it. Don't fill it out more than one time. If you fill it out more than one time, I'm going to get you banned from everything I could possibly get you banned from. I think it's a shitty thing to do. Listen, I understand everybody's been in bad spots. You're from a country, you know, that is very, you know, you don't have money and you're trying to, like, get your way through. Don't take the opportunity away from anybody else. It comes straight from top one to the email provided. If you have multiple accounts, if you put multiple emails in, you're going to get screwed. Don't do that. Winner's going to be picked very quickly. And last but not least, but extremely important, which nobody listened to a week ago, you have to be in the chat to claim the win. You got to be here to claim the win. You got to be here to claim it. That's the deal. Almost done, guys. You're almost done. You got about 30 seconds to go. As I'm about to get stopped out. Damn, son. Not playing nice with me today. Not playing nice with me at all. As I spill some LaCroix on myself. All right, guys, that's it. I said 2 minutes. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Let's see if you guys were, let's see if you guys spammed it. No, you look good. Form's done. Giveaway form is complete. We are getting ready to roll with the Ducks. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it.
Order filled.
Ugh, there's the stop out, guys. You hear it. There's the stop out. Long only. I think I'm going to have to, I say that a lot, but I think I'm going to have to actually become a long only trader. I really am going to have to do that. All right, give me a second, guys. We're getting the duck race lined up. Getting the duck race lined up here. We're going to put 3 minutes on the clock. Disgusted with this market. Absolutely disgusted. No, that sucks, though, because now I am 3 L's. I'm 3 full stop outs on this account. That is not great. Within reason, within expectations for the normal stops that I should see, given my win rate and risk to reward over a large sample size, but definitely starts to eat into drawdown. Not good. Start to dig a hole. Starts to become harder to pull yourself back out. So I'm not super stoked on that at all. I don't think I've had more than 1 full L in this account without immediately winning and coming back through the other side and taking payouts over the course of over 3 months now of trading it. But that's a really hot performance. It's a really hot performance. But man, I don't know. I think the only stat that I could really lean on this one is just never short. Just never short. I try to be cautious with it. I try to wait for a good opportunity. Like today, especially when I know I don't have anything else coming, but shorts are not paying me, man. Absolutely not paying me. But somebody is about to get funded with an instant funded account. Please open the form. No. Damn, I missed the form. Sorry, guys. Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. Sorry, guys. Had to do it quick. Had to do it quick. Had to get it done quick. And for the record, you guys had longer in Discord. So if you were in Discord, the link got put in Discord for like 4 minutes. Plus it was on Kick a little bit earlier too. But I get spammed to oblivion here on YouTube since the Discord for some reason is jacked up with whoop. We had it open. 70 some odd people made it in here, so you guys got it done quick. Gotta be quick. Gotta be fast. Sorry if you missed it. I gotta try to do things to prevent the scammers. It's unfortunate. I usually could do it quickly. or for a longer amount of time through Discord, but had to pull something to keep it fair today. So, 3 minutes on the clock. Remember, if you guys don't win today, we're going to run another one tomorrow. Plot twist. We run them almost every day. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, everybody. Let's see. There we go. Now we got a bunch of people on. Everybody loves the duck races. 70 some odd people on. 75 likes. You guys got it done. Appreciate you guys hopping on as always. Tough start to the week. I won't come off the duck race because you guys love the duck race. Tough start. Tough start to the first part of this year, man. 2 L's this week. I went L break even, LL. That's what I got now. No trade Monday, a break even and a loss. No trade yesterday and a loss. Part of it, man. Part of the game. Not gonna sweat it. I start to take too many back to back to back. Maybe we make an adjustment. But so far, we're gonna push forward. Got about a minute to go. Let's see who's going to grab this one. Ooh, I got some alerts popping. We got something that's up today on the swing account. What took off like a rocket? Something took off like a rocket. Ooh. Ooh. 200% gain on an option swing play. That's working nicely. All right, 30 seconds to go. Let's see. Dwayne out front. Rhombus down on the bottom. We got all the OGs up front. Rob, Joe, Hamaza, DPU, Abid, Ali, Snow, Jorb, Chris, Joe, J90. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Jess up front looking strong today on this one. Joe, Muhammad holding really strong. Hazma 1 holding strong. Muhammad, you've won like twice already. Might take this one. Glenn B coming from behind the Dr. Duck. Oh, stop loss is getting hit across the board. Who is it going to be? From the middle, Val. No, I can't even pronounce it. Can't even pronounce it. Stop loss hitting. There we go. We got W's in the chat now. Now. Nobody go anywhere yet. Everybody chill. Remember, this person actually has to be here, like we said, in the chat. And I've said in Discord 1,000 times. This is actually your YouTube username. So, however the hell you pronounce this, apologies, I don't know how to pronounce this. Say what's up in the chat. Where are you at, man? Where are you at? Let's see. Oh, he's in Discord. Flat Taco. Is he in Discord? Let's see. Yeah, he is in Discord. He's in Discord. We got the W in chat for... I'm so sorry. I have no idea how to pronounce this. We got the W's in the chat for the 38 Duck. Getting funded with an instant funded account from Top 1 Futures. Shout out to the winner. Hope you trade it well. Guys, remember, this ain't going anywhere. We're going to be running duck giveaways all damn year. Tune back in. Everybody always gets upset on that. Don't worry. We run them almost every day. And if you tune in enough, you're probably going to catch a day like we had right before Christmas where Clay and Cam from Top 1 Futures hopped on and we ran 15-second duck races back to back. We gave out 10 accounts. I think I actually gave out one extra. I think I gave out 11 accounts. Hop on, guys. Hop on the streams, man. Appreciate everybody hopping on. Just to talk trading real quick. Yeah, this is tough, man. This is a tough one. traded right to my stop out to stop me out. We actually have volume now to the downside. I'm really curious to see where we go from here. I'm not super stoked about it, but it is what it is, man. I like my trades. I like the ones that I'm putting on. I feel that I'm executing well. Couple losses ain't gonna shake me. A bunch of losses, a string of losses ain't gonna shake me, right? Lost accounts won't shake me. None of that stuff. Keep pushing forward, keep progressing, and take the L's on the chin. So we'll see what we get for the rest of the day. If we sell off back through VWAP down through these lows, which I don't think is super likely, I'd be pretty disappointed, but that's part of it, man. No trade for me the rest of the day. Oh, we might do it. Oh, we're gonna do it, chat. Now I am inclined to say we're gonna do it. Watching ES at NQ. Oh boy. I'll do a review in Discord. I'll show you where my stop loss was on this one. What was my actual stop? Hang on. Hang on. I'll go back. I'll do it in Discord. Anyway, we'll see what we got. This looks like it could be a failed auction. Just not wanting to break IB high and continue and potentially come back down through VWAP. Will be pretty disappointing to watch this one, man. Kind of like what I had go on over here. Either just too aggressive with the entries or not wide enough with the stops. One or the other if they continue to come back in my direction. I get too many of those. I'm going to look to make some kind of adjustment. I usually don't have that, though. I usually don't have a ton where I'm wicked out. I run a pretty wide stop here on YM. But this looks like it could be one of those. We had some nice volume come in. You can see it on traditional volume. You can see it over here on Bookmap. Immediately, CBD dropped off. Inclination that sellers are stepping back in. We didn't see too much of that over here on ES. But ES is dropping. Kind of flat on volume and CBD. Nothing too crazy. A little bit to the downside here. Gonna be interesting, man. Be cautious if you're trading the rest of the day. Anyway, guys, appreciate you being here. Let's do the quick disclaimer. Take a look. Yeah, I'll take a look. I'm reading the chat. Guys, if you are still trading the rest of the day, be cautious. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation. Do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is. Even if funded prop from accounts and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer, this is I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top on Futures code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of the trading day. See you back here tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. Eastern.